Eddie taking a beating for the past year, his own match, and taking a beating, as much as I have as well on socials. So, I look at that and I go, Joe, someone who can fight my corner.
And he doesn't understand what the business means to us. So, again, this is not something that we do often, but we're not fucking around it.
He hasn't picked the phone up because he hasn't got the stomach to. He hasn't got it in him to. He knows there's no words that can make this right.
Conor Benn fires back at Eddie Hearn after shocking $500 million lawsuit drama. Ben didn't hold back here, pushing back against the lawsuit narrative and publicly challenging Hearn's claims. He insisted that he never took any money from Eddie, calling the accusations misleading. The dispute adds another explosive chapter to their already strained relationship.
I'll just look elsewhere, or wherever is that paying me the most. Who's paying me the most money? I'll go there. Sometimes
Conor Benn's attempt to distance himself from the $500 million lawsuit allegations has done little to convince critics. Although he continues denying any financial connection with Eddie Hearn, many believe his explanation sounds more like damage control than truth. Even his comments about Zuffa boxing are being seen as an effort to shift the narrative away from the controversy surrounding him.
The win, and yeah, that is the goal. But ultimately, I want my kids going to private school. I want my kids to not want or need for anything in life. I want my kids to understand the benefits of hard work. I want them to see.
Eddie Hearn explained that he generally dislikes taking matters to court, but believes legal action is sometimes unavoidable when protecting business interests and personal principles. The ongoing dispute with Conor Benn has only fueled more speculation, with many observers feeling the situation has turned into a personal and professional breakdown rather than just a business disagreement.
I'm never really a fan of filing court cases, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and you got to protect your business, and you got to stand on your moral.
Max Kellerman criticized the idea of mixed messaging, pointing out that one should not publicly criticize a promotion on one day and then appear upset about business outcomes the next. The statement was indirectly aimed at Conor Benn, with many believing the criticism highlights perceived inconsistency in Benn's public reactions regarding Zuffa boxing.
They are literally minding their business. Mind your business. Right, well, I am minding my business. He took my fighter. No. Your fighter was a free agent and he made a business choice, right? Here's the problem, though. You can't beat your chest and talk a mess on Monday about how Zuffa sucks and all this, and then literally cry on a Tuesday. You can't the very next day be choking back tears about the L.
Johnny Nelson pointed out that Eddie Hearn has always been a strategic, business-minded figure, but the controversy involving Conor Benn has turned the situation into a bitter public dispute. Critics have been harsh on Benn for leaving Hearn and for the allegations he has raised, with many fans believing the move damaged trust and sparked unnecessary hostility in boxing circles.
And his team are hurt, and I get it. I remember when Eddie left Sky for the Zone. We were like kids, like parents, are split up thinking, "Oh, what's going on here?" That was a business move. For us, it was a personal, because we loved the union with Sky and Matchroom. We loved that, but that was a business move for them, so it worked for him. So you understand, it comes at different levels. So I understand where Eddie's coming from. I understand where Conor's coming from. I understand the public are thinking, how can he be such an ungrateful someone? So I get it. But this boxing is a sport, is a business.
Carl Frock pointed out that Conor Benn repeatedly talked about loyalty, claiming it was more important than money. However, his decision to leave Eddie Hearn sparked heavy backlash, with critics calling Benn's move disrespectful and opportunistic, arguing that his public statements about loyalty now look completely contradictory after abandoning the promoter who supported him.
Conor Benn on numerous occasions saying, my loyalty can't be touched. Look, it's not about money, it's about loyalty. And now all of a sudden he's left Eddie Hearn. And Eddie looks devastated. I've listened to a couple of interviews what he's done, and he seems genuinely upset and devastated, which is a shame on him, a shame for him, because he's heavily invested emotionally and financially with
Tony Bellew suggested that Conor Benn avoided making direct contact because he may not have the emotional strength to confront the situation. According to Bellew, some problems in boxing cannot be solved through words alone. Critics have used this statement to attack Benn's character, arguing that his actions after the controversy show a lack of accountability in the dispute with Eddie Hearn.
he hasn't picked the phone up because he hasn't got the stomach to. He hasn't got it in him to. He knows there's no words that can make this right. It's just one of them things. It's boxing, Coops. It's boxing. And he knows that that's why he hasn't picked up the phone. This is a man he spent every other day or for months.
Duke McKenzie stated that the controversy surrounding Conor Benn has caused serious public backlash, especially after what many consider a humiliating fallout with Eddie Hearn. Critics argue that Benn's decision to walk away after receiving significant career support reflects poorly on his professional attitude, with many believing the situation has damaged his reputation inside the boxing community.
Hear Eddie Hearn talk about this situation, he sounds really hurt. I mean, personally hurt. How do you swallow that? How do you swallow that pain? That you know, you've given your whole heart, mind, body, and soul, and help somebody. Then they stick two fingers up at you, and they go, "Yeah, actually, mate, I'm going to find my own way now." That hurts. That's a person.
Dominic Ingle suggested that Conor Benn fought his way back into the spotlight after his career faced serious uncertainty. Critics, however, believe his comeback narrative was built more on controversy than genuine sporting redemption. Many also pointed out that the support once provided by Eddie Hearn helped keep Benn relevant during difficult times, but the relationship collapsed later. Some fans criticized Benn harshly, calling his decisions disloyal and opportunistic, arguing that his career story is now more associated with drama than sporting excellence.
You know, where he's been and his career was almost over, and Eddie, you know, dug him out of it and stuck by him and kind of compromised himself really, because he kind of did a U-turn on drugs, Eddie, didn't he, at that point, because it was all ban him for life, and then when Conor failed, it was, oh well, it's a bit different in this situation. So it is interesting how it's all turned out in the end, but you know, boxers' careers are very short.
Oni Nelson suggested that the emotional and professional damage between Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn may be permanent after the fallout, although future business collaboration might still be possible if Benn continues winning major fights and generates significant financial value. Many believe the trust between them is already broken. The relationship appears to have crossed a point where personal feelings and professional interests collided, leaving both sides hurt. Critics argue this dispute damaged boxing business politics more than it helped Benn's career.
So now this has happened, Eddie's hurt. But trust me, if 2 or 3 fights down the line and Conor keeps winning, Conor wins his next fight 15 mil, then he puts himself up there on another level, and Conor's in a position for Eddie to put a show on, Eddie will do it. He'll put a show on, they'll work together again. But that trust is broken, that bridge is burnt in regards to that relationship. He's hurt. And
Oscar De La Hoya questioned the financial logic behind the next move of Conor Benn, expressing confusion about who would actually fund a potential 8-figure fight deal. Industry speculation suggests Benn may be chasing a high-value contract, but after the controversy and separation from Eddie Hearn, many promoters remain hesitant. Critics believe Benn's market value is now uncertain despite his name recognition. The biggest concern for potential investors is whether the financial risk will be justified by Benn's recent reputation and public controversy.
Hearn must be pissed off. Eddie Hearn must be pissed off. My God, how can they do that to Eddie Hearn? It is not right. I heard it's a one-fight deal for 8 figures. And what I don't understand is, like, yeah, who is paying him? I don't understand who is paying him. Conor Benn, because he's going to demand a lot of money. If it's going to be 8 figures, whatever it might be, he's going to demand a lot of money. So I'm not sure who's.
Eddie Hearn reflected on how financial success can sometimes distort a person's perspective, suggesting that wealth may lead to loss of direction and principles. The statement was widely interpreted as a subtle criticism of Conor Benn amid the ongoing controversy surrounding his career choices. Many observers believe this comment highlights the deeper conflict between business ambition and professional loyalty in boxing. Critics argue that Benn's situation represents the danger of allowing financial pressure and fame to overshadow sporting integrity. The controversy surrounding the lawsuit and promotion split continues to fuel public debate, with some fans supporting Hearn's perspective while others believe Benn is simply pursuing better opportunities. The dispute remains one of the most discussed business conflicts in modern boxing.
Sometimes you get a little bit carried away and deluded with life when the money hits, and you lose some direction and you lose some principle, and that you lose a reality on actually life. And I feel like that's what's happened.
Jamie Moore acknowledged that Eddie Hearn went beyond what was professionally required to support Conor Benn during difficult moments in his career. Many fans consider the fallout between them shocking because Hearn was seen as heavily invested in Benn's development both emotionally and financially. The disagreement has sparked strong reactions across the boxing community, with some believing Benn's departure reflects business ambition, while others view it as betrayal. The lack of clear financial details surrounding the situation has also fueled speculation. Observers remain surprised by how quickly the relationship deteriorated despite years of cooperation, calling the split one of the most controversial promoter-fighter breakdowns in recent boxing history.
I agree. Eddie, above and beyond anything he ever needed to do for Conor Benn during all that situation, put his neck on the line. That's why I believe it's such a big shock. I don't know the details of anything yet. I don't think even anything's breaking about numbers and stuff like that, but I just can't believe.
Bruce Carrington reacted with surprise to Conor Benn signing with Zuffa Boxing, calling it an interesting business move rather than a shocking decision. While some view Benn's roster change as a strategic career step, critics argue that his name alone does not guarantee long-term promotional success. The signing has sparked debate because many believe Benn's career is now heavily dependent on future performances rather than reputation. Observers note that Zuffa's aggressive entry into boxing could provide new opportunities, but also carries uncertainty regarding fighter development. Fans are eager to see how this partnership will impact Benn's competitive positioning and whether it will help rebuild his public image after recent controversies.
Yeah, that was very surprising, you know. But hey, listen, business is business, and I guess they're doing certain things that really interest them. And Zuffa, they're really coming into the game real hot. They've been putting on some decent cards and stuff like that. So I can't say it's a surprise. Like, they're bringing in some decent fighters on their roster. And
the sudden news of Conor Benn leaving Matchroom Boxing and signing with Zuffa Boxing shocked many industry insiders. The move reportedly came without strong public rumors, making it one of the most unexpected promotional transfers in boxing. Many fans initially believed the announcement was fake due to the lack of prior speculation. Critics argue that the timing of the decision added more controversy to Benn's career narrative. The split raised questions about communication between Benn and his former team. Observers believe this transfer could either revive his career or further damage his professional reputation, depending on how the new promotion manages his future fights.
Conor Benn has left Matchroom Boxing and has signed with Zuffa Boxing. When I saw this, first off, I thought it was fake. There were no rumors of him, being a free agent, no rumors of him shopping his services, no rumors of him even looking at Zuffa, no rumors of Zuffa talking to him, none of that. And then all of a sudden, this comes through on a Friday night. The
Wade Plemons reaction highlighted how surprising Conor Benn's move to Zuffa Boxing was for many fans and insiders. Many observers pointed out that Benn was once strongly supported by Eddie Hearn during difficult phases of his career, including testing controversies and suspension periods. Critics argue that walking away after receiving such backing raises questions about professional loyalty in boxing business culture. While some defend Benn's decision as a career strategy, others believe the split reflects deeper tension rather than a simple business move. The biggest concern remains whether Benn properly communicated his departure, because many feel the way the news emerged added more controversy to an already troubled relationship.
Is, man, the new signee of Zuffa Boxing. Unbelievable. This was Eddie's dude, man. I don't even have words for this. When Conor Benn came into boxing and he started getting promoted by Eddie Hearn, Eddie had his back through everything. I'm talking the drug tests, the failures, the freaking time off when he was at his lowest. He was with him, he stuck with him,
The controversy surrounding Conor Benn continues to divide the boxing community, especially after his split from Eddie Hearn and the lawsuit drama. Many believe Benn's career now depends heavily on performance inside the ring rather than public statements outside it. The move to Zuffa Boxing could either revive his reputation or push him further into controversy if results don't follow. What do you think about this whole situation? Is Ben trying to rebuild his career, or has the damage already been done? Let us know your opinion below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the debate in the comments.